Liverpool genuinely could win the Premier League and the Champions League. Did my match reaction yesterday for Real Madrid turning up to Anfield and getting completely dismantled. It is so hot. I don't even know why I've got a jumper on, but we're always representing the boys. We're playing tonight against Roma. Really good week of Champions League football. Manchester City drawing after being 3 goals up. Aston Villa drawing 0-0. Arsenal absolutely dismantling Sporting Lisbon. And Liverpool making it, what I thought was 16, is actually 17 wins out of 19 games, which is just obscene. Make sure you go down and drop a like. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel. We are steamrolling our way towards 32k. It is 1,000,000 degrees here in Florida. It's 12:09 p.m. and it is 31 degrees. Now, I don't know what the weather is like in the UK at the moment, but we're just sitting here in the car before we're about to go out. It is Thanksgiving, and I wanted to talk about Liverpool and their chances of winning the Premier League and the Champions League. Now, I want to cast everyone's minds back to around 2 months ago. Right, 2 months ago, Liverpool were in a very good position. They were top of the league, and they had this run of games. And the run of games was Chelsea, Brighton, home and away, one in the cup, one in the league. Southampton away, Aston Villa at home, Leverkusen at home, Real Madrid at home, and Arsenal away. And everyone said that we can really judge Liverpool once we have seen how they get on in this run of games, right? We're really going to see what they're made of, their character, their mentality, how their players perform in the big games. And one by one, each one of these games, they've absolutely dismantled teams. Chelsea, 2-1 at Anfield. Aston Villa, 2-0 at Anfield. Leverkusen, 4-0 at Anfield. Leipzig away, 1-0 out in Germany. Brighton, beat them home and away. And the Galacticos, Los Blancos, Real Madrid, the holders of the Champions League, have just turned up to Anfield and been completely outclassed. Conor Bradley with a unbelievable performance. I watched about 80 minutes of the game. I've watched the highlights back today. That tackle he makes on Kylian Mbappe is absolutely ridiculous. You've got Mohamed Salah. I know he didn't score last night, but that's the sign of a really good side, that even when your best player doesn't score, you can still win football matches. And it doesn't matter if it's Cody Gakpo, if it's Darwin Núñez, if it's Salah, if it's Jota, if it's Luis Diaz. They are always scoring goals. And Mohamed Salah has got, 22, 23 GA this season. They've got Manchester City at the weekend. They're so strong defensively. They've only conceded 1 goal in the Champions League, and they've scored 11 or 12. They've got 11 goal difference, I believe it is. They're top of the Premier League. Now, the question is going to be can they win the Premier League and Champions League? And I think at this moment in time, if they beat Manchester City this upcoming weekend on Sunday, the 1st of December, if they go to Anfield, Manchester City, and get another defeat, that will be 6 defeats in the last 7 games. And it will put Liverpool 11 points clear of Manchester City. Now, I know Manchester City love to be the chasers. They love to be the hunters. They love to be, in second. And then they go on this run of games in January, and they go and normally bombard teams and absolutely put teams to the sword. But I don't see that this year. I don't see a Manchester City side stopping Liverpool. I've said this for the last couple of days, and I will remain with my opinion in that I think the only side that stands a chance in stopping Liverpool is Arsenal. And I don't think right now that... I don't feel right now that anyone can stop this Liverpool side. To win 17 of your opening 19 games, they've beaten Chelsea, they've beaten Man United away, they've beaten Villa, they've beaten Leverkusen, they've beaten Real Madrid. Every single side that we were told is going to be a huge test for Liverpool, they've come out and they've won that game. Now, to win the Champions League and the Premier League in Arne Slot's first season would be an unbelievable accomplishment. And I think that is a big ask. But right now, they're the only side in the Champions League to have won 5 out of 5. They're the only side right now, I believe, has the strongest chance in winning both competitions. And if they beat Manchester City on Sunday, 11 points, I don't think City make that up. There'd still be, even if Arsenal win, it'd still be 9 points ahead of them. Then after that, I think they've got Newcastle United away, Everton away. I think they've got Girona away coming up as well. They've got an interesting run of games throughout December, but I just don't see where they're going to drop points. I really don't. We're at December right now, and we're talking about a side that 17 out of 19 games is honestly, it's a ridiculous start to the season for Liverpool. I'm about to sip on the Mountain Dew Zero, which is absolutely delightful, especially in this heat, because it is roasting out here. But yeah, this weekend, Manchester City travel to Anfield, Arsenal travel to West Ham, Spurs, of course, we've got Europa League tonight, and we've got Fulham at the weekend. I can't remember who Man United and Chelsea have got. Obviously, United play tonight, but I just feel that Liverpool are they're the bench. What's the quote? The bench. Yeah, they're the benchmark. Look, if Liverpool beat City, I think City's title race is over. If Liverpool get into January and they're still 7 or 8 points clear of Arsenal, it's going to be very hard to see them. Very, very hard to see them not winning the league title. The Champions League is a different kettle of fish. But so far, they are the only side to have won 5 out of 5 games. What's going to be very interesting is how they get on in the festival period. You know, where games are free every 3 or 4 days. I don't see them dropping points against Manchester City. I don't see them dropping points against Everton or Newcastle United away. Newcastle at the moment seem to be in a bit of a rut. There's talk of Eddie Howe getting the sack. West Ham went up there on Monday night and won. So I don't see why Liverpool can't. They got Mohamed Salah in absolute form of his life. Cody Gakpo, really, really good. I think Conor Bradley did pick up a little knock last night, but it's no worries when Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to be fully fit now. The only concern they might have is Konate has a slight knock on his ankle. It might be Joe Gomez that come in. It might be Kwanzaa that comes in. But I still think that there's more than enough in there right now to go out and beat this Manchester City side. I don't know how long the Konate ankle injury is going, if that's going to be a big one, if that's going to be, him out for a few weeks. Of course, the injuries are coming thick and fast with a lot of teams. We just picked up an injury. Vicario is going to be out for a few months. We're going to have Fraser Forster in goal. So it's going to be interesting to see how we get on. But look, Liverpool are Champions League favourites for me. They are Premier League favourites for me. The January window, if they bring in a left-back and if they bring in like a Zubimendi-type player, it's just going to be hard to kind of bring him in when you look at how good Gravenberch is playing right now. He's playing out of his skin. He really, really is. But look, I look at it in the sense that if Liverpool stretch that to 10 points over Arsenal, or maybe 11 or 12 over City, what happens then from a rival perspective? Does City just completely collapse? I said Arsenal still have to have belief in chasing this Liverpool side down, because at the end of the day, you are in a title race. But Liverpool are just something else, mate. They are something else. They could have won 3-1 last night, 3-0. If Salah scores that penalty, they're in absolute dreamland. You're playing La Liga champions, the holders of the Champions League, 15 times winners. I know they had no Vinny. I know they had no Rodrigo, but they still had Jude on the pitch. They still had Mbappe on the pitch. They still had Valverde. They still had Rudiger. They still had Modric. They still had world-class talent. And Liverpool absolutely bodied them. Conor Bradley, 21, 22 years of age, just completely pocketing the so-called best forward in the world in Kylian Mbappe. Mac Allister was really, really good last night. I thought he was my man of the match. And then you got the centre-back pairing of Van Dijk and Konate, which in the Champions League has been basically perfect, other than one goal conceded against AC Milan. And it's hard not to look past Liverpool right now. But this weekend coming up, if they beat Manchester City, if they go out and do City, then that's going to be it for me. I just don't see a world in which City claw. But I know we've seen this City side do unthinkable things. But even there in the games they've won this season, it's been narrow wins. They only beat Southampton 1-0. They only beat Fulham 3-2. They only beat Wolves 2-1 away. They lost to us 4-0 at the Etihad, which still sounds insane to say. We beat them 2-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They just about scraped the draw against Arsenal playing with 10 men. Man City are not at the races. This drink is elite, by the way. They're not at the races. In terms of Arsenal, you know, it kind of feels like after Dubai, you know, they had this thing last season where they went away for a bit of a break. They had a week out there, and they come back and they were destroying teams. They put 6 past Forest and 5 or 6 past West Ham, and they were in a really good spell, really good position when they got back from there. And so far, they've just put 5 past Sporting. They put 3 past Forest. I expect them to go out and score 3 or 4 goals comfortably past this West Ham side. And I guess they will be somewhat confident that they can go and get the job done. And they will be confident that they can try and close this gap up to Liverpool. I guess if you're an Arsenal fan looking at this, you're probably hoping that this game is a draw, or you hope that Manchester City pulls something out the bag so that you can kind of close this gap down from 9 points to 6 points, providing Arsenal beat West Ham. But if they don't beat West Ham and Liverpool win and beat City, if for argument's sake West Ham draw with Arsenal, that gap could be 11 points over City and over Arsenal, which 13, 14 games into the season would be an astronomical gap. Huge, massive gap that would be. I just don't see a team coming back from that, from Manchester City's perspective. They're not scoring goals. They're not keeping clean sheets. They're not winning games. There's 6 games without a win, including 5 defeats in there and a bottled 3-0 draw, a 3-0 up game against Feyenoord. I look at it from a Manchester City perspective. I don't think they're going to win the title. For Arsenal are the only team that can chase them down. But look, if Liverpool go out and get the job done against City, then fair play, because they are one hell of a side. They really, really are. One hell of a side. Well, like I said, they're Premier League and Champions League favourites. You know, City are that rattled. Pep's scratching his face and self-harming himself. So look, it's going to be a very interesting weekend coming up. We've got Europa League tonight. There will be a Tottenham match reaction out on the channel, and potentially a Man United one if I can get it out in time. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you have subscribed, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. I am out.